Coming in at number 24 on our Locked On Senators NHL draft rankings from the Edmonton Oil Kings, right shot defenseman, Blake Fiddler.
Oh man, I'm excited about Blake Fiddler, Ross. Obviously, not obviously, but son of former NHLer Vern Fiddler. People might remember he was a grinder type player that really had a meanness to his game. Blake, maybe not as mean, but what he lacks in the meanness, he makes up for in size. What do we have Blake Fiddler's size at, Ross, officially updated from the combine?
Yeah, at the combine, he came in at 6'5", 220 pounds, and he doesn't turn 18 until July.
Yeah, so that size you can count on. He might even grow some more, which is crazy. Right-hand shot defenseman with that kind of size is coveted. In 64 games with the Edmonton Oil Kings last season, 10 goals, 23 assists, good for 33 points, a +6. Now, maybe you're sitting there and being like, okay, 33 points in 64 games. Like, that's not bad, but it's not anything to really jump out about. Where Blake Fiddler shines is not putting up points, although he can do it, and he has flashes of really nice offense. But what I like about him is he plays with energy. He's got a nice wrist shot when he needs to use it. Scott Wheeler mentioned that he's smart in the defensive zone, defends the rush well with good gaps and good stick, and he's able to transition the puck up the ice. What a dual threat, Ross, to be able to shut guys down. And then once you've shut them down and taken the puck from them, you don't need to slide it over to your smooth skating offensive defenseman on your left side. Blake Fiddler can do that all on his own, and he can do it with really good success. So that's where you get the combo of size, defensive game, transition, and for a guy that's his size, he has really nice mobility. So you're getting a pretty complete package here as far as the raw prospect items go in Blake Fiddler.
Yeah, instead of going D to D, just goes backhand to forehand, takes a few strides, and away he goes. Sebastian High from Locked On NHL Prospects has him the highest of our scouts at 19th overall. Bob McKenzie's midterms, he was at 21. McKean's has him at 22. Elite Prospects at 23. Scott Wheeler at 29. And Craig Button at 39, not quite sold on Blake Fiddler. I am, though. I think that this guy would be an awesome pick for whoever gets him, but I think Ottawa in particular, I know they went right shot defenseman last year, 7th overall with Carter Yakimchuk, but he feels like the perfect second pair right shot guy at his peak where you do not have to worry about the minutes he plays. He'll give you 20, 22 good ones a night. And I love the fact that he's also one of the younger players in the draft. I think that shows there's still so much room to grow for him, and his profile and his skill set, it just feels like it fits what so many teams are looking for right now, where you want a shutdown defenseman, but you want them to be able to have that offensive upside to go along with it.
Yeah, I don't know how much offensive upside he's going to have, but when he's in spots where he has a lane, he's got a really nice wrister that he can make happen. I think the key for Fiddler is the fact that he doesn't need to rely on having a puck-moving defenseman beside him like most big shutdown guys need. He's someone that has good leadership qualities. He was the captain of Team USA at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. He had 3 points in 7 U18 games. So there's a lot to like about this kid. Now, there are some deterrents for him. Most scouts say he's got to work on his decision making and reading the play, so that's something that will come with more time and more experience. But he is willing to try different things in transition. Like you said, he's got a good transition game, but sometimes he tries to pull something off. It doesn't always work. Sometimes it does, though. But kind of the general consensus are scouts are saying he will be a bit of a project to put everything together. But I don't know. You mentioned it, Ross. How young he is, the size he is already, the mobility he has, the defensive game he has. In a pinch, he can provide some offense at this level. Like, I just see this guy as is maybe take a couple years in the AHL to figure it out, but once he does, I think he's going to be a really nice bottom 4 defenseman.
Here's why I think he has more offensive upside than maybe you or the consensus believes. And one is what you mentioned. the decision making, which under good coaching, I believe you can make better decisions, when to pinch, how to keep pucks in at the offensive zone. And 2, his attribute offensively that needs the most work is his shot. It's the lowest rated of any of his assets on the Elite Prospects Draft Guide. As he gets older and stronger, I'm sure that at 6'5", let's say he plays at 220, he's going to be able to lean into the puck and find lanes. So I think that that's where I have a little more confidence that he could. I don't think he's going to be a 50-point guy, but that he can be that 35 to 40-point guy on the back end, along with everything else that he does with the puck. Also, if he's in a good situation with forwards, let's say Tim Stützle, for example, where you give him the puck with a great clean outlet pass and all of a sudden you're racking up assists that way, that's another way some more offense could pop numbers-wise for him.
No, that's fair. I actually think he has a decent wrist shot. I think maybe where he loses points on his shot, Ross, of all the highlights I watch, and I mean, obviously, I'm not like live tracking this guy shift by shift a lot, but from the highlights I watched, I didn't see him pull out a clap bomb, a slap shot, a one-timer one single time. And I think if you're a guy of that size, just lean into it, get some flex on that stick and just let it rip. Maybe you end up missing the net a little bit more often, or getting blocked or hitting sticks and shin pads and stuff like that. But I would like to see, and maybe I'm off on this, maybe he does use a slap shot. He just didn't score with it, and that's why it's not showing up on highlight reels. But I would like to see him try to utilize a harder slap shot a little bit more often.
All that said, Pilsy, your Sens stars for Blake Fiddler.
Here it is. The moment everyone's been waiting for. No more 3 stars. No more 3.5 stars. Not even 4 or 4.5, Ross. 5. 5-star guy, Blake Fiddler. I want the Ottawa Senators to draft this guy. At 21, I think it makes so much sense. The other right shot defenseman that you would consider will most likely be gone before you get here. I don't think a centerman is the best position of need here. And I just start thinking, Ross, if you've got a decor of Jake Sanderson, Thomas Chabot, Clevin on your left side, and then on your right side, Zub, Yakimchuk, and Fiddler, that completes the 6 there so nicely. Obviously, it's going to take Fiddler some time to join those guys if he does get drafted by the Sens. But this is a guy, if the Ottawa Senators took him, I would be fist pumping out of my chair, clapping, stoked for it, which has never happened, really.
Hey, when they took Timmy.
Yeah. Although I've been honest about it. I was a Quentin Byfield guy, so I was happy about Timmy, but he wasn't my guy at that draft. Byfield was already gone. Obviously, I love Timmy now. And I was a big Sanderson guy, so those would be the 2 changes. But I mean, if you're missing in the top 5, you've got serious issues. So
just Blake Fiddler just finished his 2nd season in the Western Hockey League and doubled his point totals, went from -31 to +6. Edmonton made it to the first round of the WHL playoffs. So I'm expecting a huge draft +1 season for Blake Fiddler, who, with an average ranking of 25 on the dot, comes in at number 24 on our Locked On Senators NHL draft rankings. For more draft profiles, make sure to check us out on YouTube. We are posting every single profile. You can check them out before or even after the National Hockey League draft.